Well, Jimmy, hell is where our agents make our deals with the devil.
Oh, that explains that.
Hell is where our agents make our deals with the devil.
For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
I sold my soul to the devil. This is the first time I'm wearing a long dress, so soak it in, America. I sold my soul to the devil. A really weird mental state lately.
You've been in a weird mental state?
Yeah, I keep finding these bites all over my body.
What?
Like that one, and I don't know where they're coming from, so
You actually do have a bite there.
I spend most of my days wondering where these...
Well, have you been to a doctor? I mean, maybe you should get these checked.
No. I think it's a spiritual problem more than anything.
In what way is it a spiritual problem?
Well, I don't know. I feel like if it's not a physical thing, it's like a evil manifestation of spirits that are karmic related. I don't know.
On behalf of Amy, I'd like to thank the devil and all the dark lords who
Don't do the devil stuff.
gave her this award,
The devil stuff.
allowed her to feast on the flesh of the innocent.
Thanks, everybody.
So did you sell your soul, and if so, how much did you sell it for?
I sold my soul for about $55.
Only 55? It wasn't even worth 100?
No.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. Lisa came with a few toys like a Happy Meal. God using us to show off, to show God is better than the devil. The devil took all the producers, the musicians, the designers, moved us all out to Hollywood, moved us all out to New York, chasing gold statues. Literally signing a contract and selling our souls. They got contracts out there that say, you can't say Jesus.
Had we sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here on the agenda? How did these two guys get on
And people laugh and clap. One more time.
We sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here on the agenda?
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I mean, I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
The whole idea of celebrity and fame has become really convoluted and, kind of bastardized, like whereas fame used to be the byproduct of success, and now it's the ultimate goal. And if your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like you're gonna end up on a one-way street and it's going nowhere. Like that's just the truth. I've seen so many people like forsake their moral code and their value systems just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role. I've got to look at this table and say thanks.
I'm very honored to be able to receive this amazing award from the depths of my soul, my passion.
And it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna.
Who wants to pray to the devil with me? Who's in with me? Come on, hey, let me see those horns. Dear Dark Lord Satan, hope everything's good with you. Ask you to grant tonight's nominees continued success in the music industry. How's that?
Hold on, let me explain something to them real quick. Before everybody starts screaming and saying, oh, like I told y'all earlier, you motherfuckers have entered the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all is going to hell. Right with me. So, let's get it.
And here's to hell. May we have as much fun there as we had getting there. Huh, Howard?
And we'll be there.
about a week, not today, but about a week ago, I sold my soul. You understand what I'm saying? And ever since I sold my soul, I haven't been happy ever since. You know what I'm saying? And you get anything you want. You get to be rich. You get to have fortune. You get to have everything you ever wanted. You feel me? But you could think I'm cap. I'm not tripping.
I first came to Arizona, man, and I remember one day coming from the studio at 6 o'clock in the morning and pulling over on the highway. We like 4 cars, you know, just to watch the sunrise. And it was at that point that I fell in love with Arizona. I said, you know what, this has to be God's country. You know, because I'd never seen anything as beautiful as that sunrise. Then I met the devil in God's country. You know, and it's not so much who, it's what, you know, what happens and the things that the devil does. It's not so much a person, even though he acts through people. You know, you can't call one person the devil.
Joe Arpaio?
You know, you can't call any one person the devil. You can't do that because no one person has enough power to be the devil. You know, and you know, it's through all these hardships that I realized that, you know what, this is God's country because I met the devil here. Because if I hadn't met the devil here, I wouldn't realize I was strong enough to overcome the obstacles that the devil would place in my path. And it's by overcoming these obstacles that I realized that this is God's country. Because he helped me get over these obstacles. He helped me get over these hurdles.
I'm trapped. If I can go back, I never would have rapped. I sold my soul to the devil, I'll never get it back. I just want to leave this game with level head intact. Okay, I'm still alive.
So am I too. You can't kill a spirit even if you tried to. You sold your soul to me. Need I remind you? You remember that night you prayed to God you give anything to get a record deal? Well, Dre signed you. This is what you wanted your whole life. Also right? Whoa, look at this house. Look at these cars. They're so nice. Whoa. Oh, but you didn't know fame has a price too. That you just now seeing the downside too.
I mean, I released a gospel record when I was 15 because I grew up in, you know, a household where all I ever did was listen to gospel music, and my parents are both traveling ministers, and so
the guy that was preaching at the revivals, he came up to me out of, you know, a few thousand people and said, you know, you're gonna sing.
Many people in the world will never truly be so free. Yeah, only reason that I live. Christ came down and died for you and me. I live because Christ died, and though he has suffered.
I kind of sang about, you know, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. Because I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil. It didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
I remember sometime we do 10 episodes for my show, and in this last season, I was hitting a block, right? I was like, oh, I'm not doing it right? So I went in the corner, and then I was looking at the wall, and I was like, come on, devil, right? Come to me, because I had to do something like crazy, right? Had nightmares for a month. So it does come.
Up to it or after?
After. Like I had nightmares every day, like I felt that energy.
Oh, interesting.
You know, and I had to pray and do all this stuff to like get rid of it. And, you know, you call your mom up and you're like, bring me back to life. And that stuff is real. That stuff really is real.
So I'm from New York originally, and ever since I was little, ever since I could remember, I wanted to perform, sing, dance, act. It was just in me. Like my mom said, as soon as she brought me to church when I was old enough to walk, when worship started, I was in the aisles dancing.
Wow.
So it was just in me because the Lord gives us the gifts, right? And I just remember, you know, my parents putting me in dance classes and singing in children's choir, in dance, in church, everything in church, right? And I just loved it until I came across Whitney Houston singing I Will Always Love You on, I think it was VH1 or MTV, and I was enamored. I was just amazed at her vocal ability. And at 4, I remember thinking, I want to do that. I just knew this, I want to do that. She's beautiful. And so but I wasn't seeing that level of freedom in song at church that I saw her her capability, her delivery. And so I immediately made that distinction. And so like at church, it felt very boxed and limited, but the way the world was presenting singing in the arts, it just was liberating. And it was like, if I don't know who I am, I can figure it out then. If I don't know my ability and my range and my true like capabilities, I'm going to find it in the world. Because at church, they tell you how to do it. But in the world, you can discover it for yourself. So I did. So I remember thinking, when I'm 18, I'm gonna really do this thing. Because my parents kept a tight leash in that they allowed me to listen to some secular music, but not everything, and anything, a lot of songs and artists were, that's Satan's music, that's the devil's music.
Yeah.
LA makes all the devil stuff, and I'm just like, y'all are so dramatic. And at church, it's the same language. Like, the demons are in those songs or whatever. I'm like, you guys are dramatic. That is not even true. And I grew up in a Pentecostal church, so I saw these things, but I didn't have the mindset to truly comprehend what was happening. But yet I just knew, like, that's conspiracy theory. You guys are dramatic. I'm going to do it. And my mom, because she was suppressed as a child, she really wanted me to go after my dreams. So she was there. She took me on auditions. She took me to commercials and things like that. And so she supported me, but she stayed close because she wanted to make sure that I was protected physically and spiritually. And so I turned 18 and I'm auditioning now for like big companies and big artists, and eventually start meeting producers in the industry, because at this time I'm in Miami and a lot of producers like to record down there. Gotcha. They'll go down there. It's wonderful weather. And I just happened to meet producers and songwriters and artists being out in the clubs, because that's where they go to hang out, right? And I just started building relationships and started recording. It started small, just recording, choruses or like verses on artist tracks, and eventually started to work on my own stuff with producers who saw something in me that wanted to invest the time. And so that just grew. And from there, I ended up getting in front of some big labels and eventually got a deal with Universal Republic. And I had an indie deal as well supporting me. And so that was really common to have an independent label contract with a major to find the song that's going to take over the world. Because I had songs on the radio, like locally, but it was like, okay, we need that big song. So I started collaborating with big artists. I had a song with Gucci Mane that was on the radio. I had a song with Busta Rhymes that was on the radio. I had a song with Sean Paul that never made it out, and we'll talk about that later. But we shot in Ibiza, and it was like the most amazing experience I've ever had. I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. My career is taking off. But yet still, you have the whispers of, the Holy Spirit. This isn't pleasing. Because I had a relationship with God, but it was that, okay, Lord, you don't understand what I want. Understand my dreams. You don't know, like, your way's boring. Like, just when I'm 50, I'll serve you.
Dang.
Just let me do it this way.
Yeah.
And then when I get it out of my system, then I'll serve you. But I'm pursuing it. And, my mom would come to some studio sessions with me and be praying under her breath. I didn't know that at the time. I know that now. But it was still devil's music, but just make sure that she was covering me spiritually. And so again, I would ignore a lot of that. I would sometimes get friends sending me videos of so-and-so sold their soul to the devil. And you would just think it's tabloid stuff. So I would shoo it away. I'm like, this is crazy stuff. Until one day.
Come on.
Until the one day that it comes from the horse's mouth. And so I'm working with a producer who's worked with everyone. I mean, to name a few, Destiny's Child and Michael Jackson were his biggest artists that he's worked with. So he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And we're in a session one day and we take a break. And he's like, let's go for a walk. Now, this studio was in the basement of a hotel in Miami, and the hotel was under renovations. So we're walking around the suites and we're away from everybody else. And he was a good guy, like nothing weird, but he's like, so let me tell you something. You know that if you sold your soul to the devil, you can have instant fame tomorrow? So now, this just became real because it came from his mouth. And he's not saying it like a joke. This is real. This is matter of fact. This is, hey, if you did this, both of our careers will be on a whole nother level. Because he was kind of blacklisted at this time. He was trying to get his career back up. And as soon as he said this, I fell on my knees. I felt the weight of my conviction. And I always say this, I felt like there was an angel that either stepped in the room or drew his sword, because I couldn't stand it, neither could he. He found himself on a chair, I'm on the ground, and I'm crying out to God, like, forgive me, because I had this relationship with God where it was like, I'll live crazy, and then before I go to bed, in case I die in my sleep, I'm gonna ask for forgiveness. Because it was that Jesus he died on the cross for your sins. So as long as you ask for forgiveness, you're good. That was my level of faith at that time, or understanding of it. So I would live however, and then if anything scared me, if I was in a weird airplane ride, Lord, forgive me, I promise, whatever, just empty words. So I'm crying out, I don't know how long. I get up, I wipe my eyes, and he's sitting on a chair, like head down, arms on his knees. And we never spoke of that incident ever again. I don't think we said anything to each other. I think we just looked at each other and just walked back to the studio and continued working. But in my mind, I'm like, this is a real thing, that artists do this. This is apparently a real thing. So I have to maintain my Christianity, but yet I'm still pursuing this. So I formed my own righteousness. I'm like, okay, I won't do this. I won't show this much skin. I won't sing certain lyrics. So this is what I started to do.
Wow.
And that only went so far. So now I'm fully aware that people do this. And it's like, I felt like that opportunity, well, it was an opportunity, but that moment really lifted the scales and really showed me that it's all spiritual. And that music is
Oof. Come on.
It's a weapon.
For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?